Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It's a great pleasure to be here after quite a time of absence, but not from our organization, but personally myself. And it's also fascinating to see how landscape restoration is approached from so many angles. Our organization is the International Tropical Timber Organization, and we look at the role of productive forest in the context of landscape restoration. And more exactly, it's the promotion of trade with sustainably produced timber from sustainably managed and legally harvested forests. It's an organization which is an intergovernmental organization with 73 member states, 33 from tropical countries, producer countries, and 35 from the consumer side. So it's a commodity organization, more or less. We have implemented more than 1,000 projects with more than $400 million over the last 25-30 years. Our concern with landscape restoration is the following. We have signals of dramatically increased forest degradation in tropical forests, and it suggests that the emissions from those forests are much higher than from deforestation, which is coming mostly from outside sources. At the same time, the demand for tropical and wood domestically and internationally is increasing dramatically. So it's a very negative scenario for the future, and the supply gap could be up to 6 billion cubic meters per year in the years 2040, 2050. So that means concretely that we have to work hard for investments into landscape restoration. It's no more. It's also now becoming a forest management issue. So our organization is focusing on biodiversity conservation, restoration, reforestation, and I think very much important is also the green and sustainable supply chains, because that's where the demand is coming from, which doesn't go away. So we need to look at timber like food. It is needed in the future and it doesn't go away. In this context, we have now finished our council meeting last 2 weeks ago, and in the future we will focus on incentive mechanisms for sustainable investments into tropical landscapes, and we look more on institutional legal policy frameworks, tax incentives and smart incentives, which are not there in many cases. We have also started a very interesting collaboration with the main producers in China, importers in China, and we are helping them to create what they call a global green supply chain mechanism. And these are the biggest companies in China, and this might have a major impact on demand from tropical forests. But we have also worked on restoration of mangrove forests. We are working with CITES, and we would be interested to work with you on the update of the restoration guidelines, which have been elaborated together with IUCN, because we see a strong demand for updating those guidelines in terms of landscapes and productivity of landscapes. And some of that we will also present next Tuesday at a side event together with UFRO and with C4 at the forum. Thank you very much.
Thank you.